Hello YouTube, my name's Nero and today we use some Call of Duty Advanced Warfare and it is patch day. Ladies and gentlemen, December 4th, 2014, a new update has come to Advanced Warfare. Tons of things in this game have changed, and I figured I'd go over some of that here in this video. I basically wanted to cover what I believe to be the highlights of the update, stuff that's really going to affect me, and stuff that's really going to be affecting you guys, mainly changes to game mode, changes to guns, and things like that. So that's what we're going to be covering in this video, but of course, there's going to be a link down in the video description if you guys would like to read through the entire patch notes, but I'm going to go ahead and try and make a short, concise video showing you guys some of the highlights of this update. The big thing to me is the weapon rebalancing. They have gone ahead and rebalanced a bunch of the weapons here in Advanced Warfare, and I figured I would go over some of the big ones here in this video. First and foremost, the ball. The ball 27 has in fact received its much needed nerf. It has a damage and a range reduction nerf, so it's not going to be as powerful, and it's going to have less range, and it has more recoil. Now, some people have already played the game, some people have been playing a lot this morning and this afternoon. They're saying that the ball itself does not feel a whole lot different, but I gotta say, any kind of nerf to that gun, anything that would kind of detract people from wanting to use it as much, is definitely a good thing. It's a good thing for Call of Duty. It's a great thing for Advanced Warfare overall. Hopefully, it will actually make it so the ball is not as used as widespread as it once was. Hopefully, this nerf does the ball in and makes it so people don't use it as much. I would just love that, man. Hopefully, the gun balance in this game will be a little bit better. Hopefully, Ball of Duty Advanced Warfare will not be Ball of Duty anymore. It can go back to being Call of Duty and not just about the ball 27, because that gun was freaking ridiculous and honestly made it so I did not like playing the game. It honestly really detracted the game for me. Like I hit 3rd prestige like November 11th, November 12th, something like that. I've ranked up probably 46 times since then because I can't stand playing Advanced Warfare in the current state it was in, with everybody running around with the ball and just how ridiculous that gun was. I could not play the game in the state that it was in, and now the ball's been nerfed. Hopefully that will change things around for me. Some other guns around here have actually been buffed and or nerfed. The HBR-A3, my favorite rifle in the game, has actually received a slight nerf, reducing its maximum range. Now, the HBR-A3 was a great rifle. I love it. I love the way it looks, the way it performs, and everything. It has really no recoil, and it's very powerful with a low fire rate. So I can see how, at a very long distance, that rifle may have been a little bit too powerful. I'm not sure if I necessarily agree, but it has received a little bit of a nerf. The submachine guns. You guys may be wondering about these submachine guns. It was a very popular opinion amongst most players that the submachine guns in this game were very, very weak and they needed to get buffed. Well, 2 of them, in fact, end up getting buffed. They only updated 2 of them. The ASM-1 had its range increased, which, I gotta say, the ASM-1, right, the equivalent of a Tommy gun. Looks like a Tommy gun, kind of performs like a Tommy gun from World at War. A lot of people like the gun because of that. I gotta say, the reason that the ASM-1 was weak was not because it didn't have a very good range. The reason it was weak was because it has a very bad fire rate, and that fire rate only gets worse over time. If you guys don't know, there's a quirk with the ASM-1 where basically the longer you hold down the trigger, the more accurate it becomes, but the worse the fire rate becomes. So as a result of that, it's like if you hold down the trigger on a thing, you try and do a little bit of spray and pray, your fire rate is already bad and it only gets worse the more you hold down the trigger. So the ASM-1, I'm not sure I necessarily agree with the idea of increasing its range. Of course, it's going to make the gun a little bit better, but the thing that really needed to make the gun a little bit better was just making the fire rate a little bit better. That's what they needed to, is up the fire rate on that. The MP11 is the other submachine gun that actually received a buff. Once again, they just increased the range on it, made it so it's a little bit powerful at a longer effective range. That way, you're not only effective at very close quarters. I gotta say, the MP11 is slowly, it's growing on me. It's one of those guns that I'm starting to play with a lot more. I'm really kind of enjoying the gun. I like that gun a whole lot. It reminds me a lot of the Modern Warfare 2 Mini Uzi. It's got a crazy fire rate, it's got good damage, but what really kind of limited the gun was the fact it was not very powerful at any kind of range. Well, the fact that they're increasing the range a little bit on that submachine gun, it sounds like it's going to make it a much more viable weapon in the future, and that's going to be awesome. So hopefully the MP11 will be very, very good. I'm excited to start playing with that. The EM1 got a damage increase. Now, hopefully it's not to the point that a lot of people that have been playing on the Xbox 360 and on the PlayStation 3 have had, because apparently on last-gen consoles like that, it is ridiculously powerful. Like, they over-buffed it, is basically what people are saying on the last-gen consoles. Before this update, mind you, this was before this update happened, so hopefully it's not that powerful. Hopefully it's just slightly more powerful, because I think we can all agree that before the updates, the EM1 was kind of weak sauce, although I did get the EM1 Poner edition, which is an elite version of it, which is very, very good. It has a purple laser beam and everything. It's really, really cool. But yeah, so the EM1 got a bit of a damage increase. The EPM3, which you guys probably don't know what gun that is the other laser heavy weapon that is semi-automatic. It's basically an overglorified marksman rifle. It has an increased damage. The buff that they gave it gave it more damage, as well as it gave it faster ADS times. Hopefully that gun will become a little bit more viable. I tried using it a little bit, but it just felt too weak, all things considered, to really become a viable weapon. The XMG heavy weapon is actually going to get a buff as well. They increased the damage on it, as well as lockdown mode increased. Now, I'm not entirely positive what lockdown mode increased means. All things considered, I haven't actually used the XMGs, just because it's one of those guns I knew what I was getting into. It's an akimbo light machine gun, you know. It's a gimmick weapon. It's not really meant to be a super viable weapon overall. It's there just for fun. It's there for giggles and have a laugh with, right? So just because I knew that right from the get, just looking at it, just understanding it's an akimbo light machine gun, I'm like, yeah, I'm probably not going to use that gun a whole lot. But apparently they've given it a damage increase, as well as they've increased the lockdown mode, wherever that means. So apparently that's a thing. The Melee, another light machine gun, also got its damage increased, which I gotta say, the Melee itself actually felt pretty good already, especially if you got the Subverter variation, which is a professional variation of the Melee, which is it's not even an elite, so it's not even that rare of an item. It's the Subverter variation, which gives it +2 to damage and minus to its magazine size. So basically it makes it so you have a 50-round magazine, but you have an incredibly powerful light machine gun. So the fact that it's already a pretty good gun, and there's really good variants of it, and now they're just increasing the damage on it again. I mean, man, the Melee is really turning out to be a very powerful weapon. And the final weapon that they actually went ahead and updated was the Pytiak. I don't even know how to pronounce it. It's the Russian-looking light machine gun that has absolutely no recoil whatsoever, like it has 100% perfect accuracy. Well, they went ahead and increased the damage on that. For me personally, the Pytiak, however you pronounce it, I didn't like it very much. I tried it, I gave it its fair shot, but for me, it's like, man, this gun, it doesn't really kick at all or anything, but just something about it just doesn't click with me, and I don't do very well with it. So as a result, I never ended up using it. So yeah, so that gun actually got a buff as well, increasing the damage, and those are all your weapons that either got buffed or nerfed throughout this update. So basically, the ball and the HURA3 both got nerfs. The ASM1 and the MP11 in the submachine gun category both got buffs. The EM1, the EPM3, the XMG, the Melee, and the Pytech all got buffs. So basically, all the light machine guns really got buffed. Sad to see nothing happened with shotguns whatsoever in this, and it's also sad to see that more submachine guns were not addressed in this update, but I suppose it's a start. It's Call of Duty. It's a work in progress. We're going to see more updates in the future, and hopefully they'll get that stuff sorted out. Some of the other updates that they've given us throughout this, they basically went and they changed around a bunch of things with esports settings, as well as they did a bunch of updates to ranked play. Once again, there's a link down in the video description of this video that you guys go ahead and click, and it will you'll be able to read through all the updates to the esports settings, as well as the ranked play updates, because there's a lot of them, and I did not want to go ahead and list all of them here in this video. Though I'm going to part ways with you with this video by letting you know about some game mode updates. So they actually adjusted the score amounts in various game modes, and they did not go into detail in the patch notes of what this meant, but I was reading on the official Call of Duty forums of a lot of people talking about domination, and this is an example of adjusting the score amounts. So in domination, traditionally, and even in Advanced Warfare, you got 50 points for a kill and 150 points for a flag capture. Well, now, after this update, you now get 100 points for a kill and 200 points for a flag capture. So you're getting 50 more points per kill, and you're getting 50 more points per flag capture. And what I'm reading on the forums, which I haven't played yet, but what I'm reading on the forums is a lot of people are saying domination is now score streak haven, which sounds just so freaking cool to me. That sounds like a hoot, because I think we can all admit, let's all be honest with ourselves, these score streaks in Advanced Warfare are on the weak side. They are pretty weak sauce. We've been noticing that as a trend over the past few games. Modern Warfare 3, Call of Duty Ghosts, and now Advanced Warfare all had pretty weak score streaks. Black Ops 2 score streaks, in my opinion, were pretty good, but 3 of the past 4 Call of Duties have had pretty weak sauce score streaks. So the fact that even though they're kind of weak, the fact that they're making them very easy to get in domination sounds like a lot of fun. You guys know I like to play domination, and domination and search and destroy are basically the game modes I play a lot. So I'm excited to see that. Excited to see how that's going to work, as well as I'm excited to see what the adjusted score amounts are like in all the different game modes. Now, aside from that, they did update a few of the things within some other game modes, like Capture the Flag. They actually changed around the spawn system logic a little bit in Capture the Flag, so now players are a little less likely to spawn near their own flag, because apparently there was an issue in Capture the Flag, which I'm not a Capture the Flag player, this is just what I've read, but apparently there was an issue in Capture the Flag where people would constantly spawn near their own flag, so much so that it was like nigh impossible to get near enough to their flag to be able to take it from them. So they changed that around a little bit. They're adjusting the spawns to capture the flag, so people actually have a fair shot at actually getting the flag from the opposing team. They actually added a limitation to the passing distance in uplink, so making it so people have to basically work a little bit harder to be able to pass the quote-unquote ball in uplink. So hopefully that'll make the game mode a little bit better, as well as they have adjusted the spawn system in uplink. And hardpoint, we're going to part ways with this video by saying that hardpoint actually got a change to the spawn logic to try to avoid clusters at the hardpoint, which sounds great. I have played a little bit of hardpoint, not a whole lot, but I have played a little bit of hardpoint, and it is a giant cluster on the hardpoint. And the reason for that being was they basically just spawned both teams on it all the time. Everyone was just throwing grenades at each other and fighting for it and whatnot. And I noticed that Momentum has that exact same problem. So that's the reason I don't really play too much hardpoint. That's the reason I don't play too much Momentum. But yes, that is your update video here for Advanced Warfare. I tried to make it a short, concise video, but even then, man, it took me a while to read all that off. There's a lot of stuff. And once again, down in the video description below this video, you guys can click. It's going to take you over to the Call of Duty website, and you guys can go ahead and you can read through all the patch notes by yourselves, kind of absorb information a little bit easier as you read that. I found that if you read the information yourself, it's a little bit easier to absorb rather than watching a video anyway. But still, I wanted to update you guys here at this video, give you guys some insight as to stuff that's happening here in Advanced Warfare, give you some opinions on some of this stuff. And yeah, I thought it was a good video. So hopefully you guys did enjoy the video. Hopefully you guys all found it helpful and informative. Be sure to let me know in the comments what you guys think about this update. What's your favorite thing about this update, and what things do you think that they really missed out on by not addressing them with this particular patch? Let me know about that. Be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel here if you guys are new for more Advanced Warfare content. I hope you guys all enjoyed this video, and if you did, please be sure to leave a rating. Hope you guys all have a wonderful day.